Hello everyone, welcome back to Indiana Kayak Fishing Journal. Today is Saturday, September the 22nd. The weather has been absolutely crazy for September. We have had straight, like probably 2 weeks straight of days in the mid to upper 80s and even touching 90 degrees. And we have had almost no rain. We are in a severe drought. All the rivers are extremely low. And like I said, the weather's just been hot, hot, hot. So September has not been what I expected at all. What it is going to do for me though, however, is it's going to give me the opportunity to get out and do something that I haven't done for a while, and something that I wanted to get done this summer that I didn't have the opportunity to, and that is to get out and fly fish with rope flies for Longnose Gar. So that's what I'm going to be doing this morning. I've got a couple hours to fish. I came over to this location yesterday after work and scouted it out, and from the bridge that goes over the river right there, I was able to see quite a few gar swimming around just under the surface and porpoising. So I'm hoping it's going to be good. But we did finally get a little shot of rain last night. It didn't really bring the river up, but just any change in weather conditions sometimes can affect how the fish behave. So hopefully those fish are still around. I'm going to get fishing and see if I spot any. Stay tuned. We'll see how it goes. That's a nice gar. That was a happy accident. I just happened to spot him sitting in the shallows. Nice gar. Probably one of the bigger longnose I've ever caught. Got him. Nice fish. It's pretty. Didn't fight particularly hard, but hey, it's a fish. I'll take it for now. Not too many fish hanging around here right now. All right, I got my first longnose gar of the day. They're not right up on the surface like I was hoping they would be, but I spotted this guy actually right on the edge of a drop-off. There's some bluegills up on there, and actually when my kayak came up on those bluegills, it kind of scattered them a little bit, and he took a shot at one of those bluegills. I was like, oh, this fish is definitely gonna go if I get my fly in front of him. So I flipped it out there real quick, and sure enough, he ate it as soon as it came through there. So let me go ahead and show him to you guys. It's a pretty cool fish. It's a pretty good one. He's really pretty. Their teeth just get caught in nets so bad. Pretty good looking fish. I love their tails with all that orange and red. And then that long snout is just so freaking cool. That's such a cool looking fish. Pretty good one. You know, he's probably 30 inches long. They're pretty small when they're that size. Hoping to get a little bit bigger one today, but that's a nice one to go to start with. I'll take him. All right, nice longnose gar there. First one of the day. They're such a pretty fish. Such a cool looking fish. Let me get this guy back. He's seeming kind of mad. Whoosh, there he goes. Nice. They're like right under the surface. I could reach out and touch that one if I wanted to. That's crazy. Oh, there's another gar. Back up, back up. Yes, sir. There we go. Gar on. That's so cool. That's so flippin' cool. Ooh, I don't have him hooked at all. If I want to get him in to see him, I might want to try to get him in quickish. I don't have him hardly hooked. No, I think he's getting more hooked the more he fights. That's a nice one. Another nice one. I'll spot it up. About the same size as that last one. Nice. All right, gar number 2 of the day. I've kind of figured out at least a little bit of a pattern. They're like sitting on this drop off, and there's all these little bait fish up on top of it, and they're waiting for something to come over the edge that they can nab. And unfortunately, there's not like a ton of fish right up on the surface where I can spot and stalk them pretty easily. I have to be pretty close to these fish to be able to see them because they're kind of sitting on the bottom, just hunkered down, waiting for something to come right over the top of them. Well, let me show you this fish. He's another really pretty fish, about the same size as the last one. Another good little fish. Man, they are pretty. I really think these are a cool fish. Very neat looking fish. There he is. Look at the tail on that thing. All the spots. Yeah, he might be slightly smaller than the last one, but he's pretty neat still. Good looking fish. Really cool. Try to get a nice close up. Nice and slow. Yeah, really cool fish. Awesome fly fishing for him too. Pretty neat. All right, let's get him back. Oh, there he goes. Oh, he slapped me and got away. Man, wow, you got my arm all slimy. That's disgusting. Oh man, fish flop. Didn't wanna cooperate anymore. He cooperated pretty good for a little bit. There are bluegills, a few bass, all kinds of shad, a couple of carp, all kinds of stuff sitting up here this morning. And luckily there was a couple of gar sitting after him, trying to grab a few of them. I was able to nab a few of them at least. Hopefully as the day goes on and the day gets hotter, it's supposed to be another 90-degree day today, the rest of the gar will come up closer to the surface and I can get a shot at some of them. I think I see a couple of gar out here in the middle. I'll try to go after them for a second. Oh, there's a lot more out there than I thought. Oh, there's one right here in front of me. There he is. Yeah, baby. Gonna turn into a hell of a day yet. 3. Quick shot at this little guy. He's tiny compared to the other two. I'll take it. Still fun. Cool watching him chase it down and eat it. Such a bizarre looking fish. They're cool though. There he is. So the best way I can describe these rope flies is like Velcro. This is the soft part of the Velcro and the gar is the sharp needly part of the Velcro. When they're separate, they don't really do anything one way or the other, but when you put this into that, it sticks instantly and it does not come off of there. So this is actually just a frayed piece of nylon rope, about a 4-foot section or 4-inch section of it, and then tied onto a split ring, basically, kind of fly tied on there. That's all it is, and man, when they grab onto this thing, they can just not let go. It's incredible how it works. This thing has some pretty good action in the water as long as you kind of keep it combed out and looking good. Very effective lure for these gar. Now the smaller gar seem to be afraid of this because it's pretty big. The medium-sized gar, half of them seem to like it and the other half kind of ignore it. And then the big gar really seem to like this thing, the bigger fish, like those first couple that I caught, and then up, really seem to like this thing. So if you see a lot of the smaller gar in your area, the smaller longnose gar, try downsizing this thing and I bet those fish will eat these things. It's just a matter of the size. You know, some of the smaller fish are pretty intimidated by this thing in the water. It really beefs up and it looks huge. You can see them like jumping out after minnows or flies or dumping, who even knows. There's so many out here. I'm gonna try to kind of skirt around the edge, not get right into the middle of them, so I can see if I can get a whole bunch of them. There's got to be 100 out here at least, probably way more than that. Got a little warmer and all of a sudden they pop to the surface and I can see them really good now. Wow. I'm gonna try to be selective and not cast to any really small ones. I'm gonna try to cast to some of the nicer ones because there's a pretty good variety of sizes out here. Some of them are really small. There's a good one right in front of me. There he is. Yeah, that's a really good one. Another nice one. Another really good one. They're pretty strong. They just go in bursts. You don't get like a nice long run out of them. They just struggle and then go a little nuts and then whoop. Didn't get the net out quite quick enough. There he is. Nice one. Another good one, about the same size as those first two. I'm gonna back off so I don't spook the rest of these fish while I'm dealing with this guy. Man, there are a lot of them. Gar number 4 on this quick trip. This is gonna be awesome. The fish have all of a sudden come up to the surface. I can see them just all over the place. So a pretty nice one, kind of like those first two. Pretty similar to those first two. Like I said, they're coming right up to the surface now and I can spot them real easily. You can see hundreds of them out here. So it's just gonna be a matter of how long can I spend out here. Wow. Very cool fish. All right, let's get him right back. They're so pretty. They're so neat. Send them on back. One of the big concerns people have fishing for these gar is getting them off of the rope fly. So let me just show you how it's done, at least in my book. So I'll just go ahead and bring the fish in, kind of move my legs out of the way so he doesn't get into my legs at all. They usually go nuts a little bit. Grab onto them as hard as you can, hang on to them, get them out of the net. Okay, so there, all he's got is the rope fly on there. So there he is all tangled up in there. Just grab you a pair of pliers and just start pulling away at this stuff, working towards the front of the fish. See how I'm doing that? Just grab it, start just working. Start at the back, closest to the back of the mouth. Just start working all the fibers up to the front. He's got a short lower jaw compared to most of them. Kind of a little different look to this guy, but he'll unhook about the same. Like I said, you just start working the fibers. You're gonna tear some of them off. That's no big deal. These flies are extremely quick and cheap to make using the rope. All right, so there he's off the fly. Just try to pick any of the remaining stuff out of him. And there he is, all untangled. Like I said, he's got a severe underbite for some reason. Haven't seen one that looked quite like that before. Such a neat fish, even the small ones. All right, let's toss him back in. You want to just kind of pick at it and straighten it up as much as you can. These fish aren't real particular about how it looks, so you don't have to worry about getting it absolutely perfect looking, because it's never going to be absolutely perfect looking again once these things get a hold of it. So like I said, just kind of pick at it, smooth it out, try to, ideally I would have a comb with me with some sharp bristles. and I would just lay this on the floor of the kayak and just brush it out, and it would look a lot better, but happened to forget that this morning, so it is what it is. Like I said, that'll still catch fish. That still has plenty of action and movement to it. You know, oddly, the more tangled up this thing gets, the easier it is to actually catch them on them. Because, I mean, man, if they bite into that at all, this just gets instantly tangled around their teeth. All right, well, that's going to do it for the video today. Just a quick trip, had a couple hours to come out and fish. There was a ton of gar. When I first got out here, I was really worried because I wasn't seeing any of them. And then I kind of went around the lip of the dam, and in this spot where it's real shallow and then drops off, there were a few fish just like sitting right on that drop off, waiting for bait fish or something to wander over them so they could eat them. And I caught a couple of fish there. And then by that point, I mean, it's already probably 85 degrees and it's just now noon. It started to warm up enough, and all the other fish started to rise up at the surface. I was just seeing them grab things off the surface all over the place, porpoising, jumping. And then you could just look out across the water and see fish here and there across the way. Now, unfortunately, I did catch a couple of fish from that big glob of fish out in the middle of this pool, but they spooked pretty quickly, and then I wasn't really able to catch any more. I did end up catching 5 longnose gar, which is the most I've ever caught in a day, so that's awesome. All on the rope fly, which is awesome. I have no hooks in the boat at all today, which is really cool. Very cool opportunity. Never would have thought I'd be out here towards the end of September fly fishing for longnose gar that are right at the surface. It's like 85 degrees. That was not something that I envisioned for this year. Anyways, hopefully we get some more fall-like weather here soon, and we can switch gears and start fishing for some other species, and then we'll see how that goes. Thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you to everybody who likes, comments, subscribes, shares these videos. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the next one.